Now, Count on 2, live and local in the Lowcountry. This is News 2 Today.
Hey, good Sunday morning. Thank you so much for joining us and for starting your day off with us. And happy Father's Day to all of you dads at home tuning in this morning. We appreciate you. Today is Sunday, June 16th. I'm Olivia Parsons. Let's head over to meteorologist Ariel Hooley. She's in the Weather Center this morning. And Ariel, a beautiful day on the horizon for all the dads to get out there on the water, to the beach, grill, you name it.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Olivia. No matter what the dads have planned for their day, it is looking fantastic. Now, taking a look at our News 2 rooftop camera, you can see those clouds really starting to blossom. That's indicative of a bit more moisture out there, also known as humidity. It's made a little bit of a comeback to our area, so I hope you enjoyed the last couple days because we're right back into that summertime feel. And it also is coming with some warmer temperatures as we start your day right now. Temperatures anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees warmer as we start your day here. And here's what that looks like town by town. Already sitting at 82 on Johns Island, 73 Walterboro, up to 75 in Kingstree, 79 Mount Pleasant up towards Georgetown. And those dew points, here they are. We're back up into the 70s, so a very summer-like feel out there, especially compared to what we enjoyed both Friday and Saturday. Taking a look at your forecast for the day today, we'll be sitting at 85 as we head into the 1 o'clock hour, 87 by 3. Temperatures today right about normal for this time of year. We'll be into the upper 80s to low 90s, but it's going to feel a little warmer with that humidity. So right now, again, we're looking at temperatures into the 70s. As we head into the lunchtime hour for your Father's Day, 85. And as Dad's grilling your dinner tonight, we're talking 87. There is a very small chance for a pop-up shower or storm. I'll show you where has the best chance coming up.
Tomorrow marks the 4-year anniversary of the Mother Emanuel AME church shooting. 4 years ago tomorrow, 9 people were gunned down during a Wednesday night Bible study at Mother Emanuel. This morning, you're invited to a joint worship service at Mother Emanuel beginning at 9:30. Reverend Eric S.C. Manning, pastor of Mother Emanuel, and Reverend Anthony B. Thompson, pastor of Holy Trinity Reformed Episcopal Church, will lead a special Father's Day service. The Charleston Forum Expo begins at 1 this afternoon at the Charleston Bus Shed. The expo will provide nonprofits with the same ideas on how to address issues of race and social injustices here in the Lowcountry the opportunity to share their stories. And then the Charleston Forum begins at 4 this afternoon. The forum will address sensitive issues of everyday life in a welcoming environment. For more information and a complete list of all Mother Emanuel events, head over to our website at counton2.com. This morning, an autopsy is scheduled for the Somerville woman found dead inside an apartment building. Friday night, the Dorchester County Coroner's Office was notified about a woman found dead of an apparent stab wound inside Westbury Mews Apartments in Somerville. Yesterday, the coroner identified the woman as 55-year-old Linda Argo. Somerville Police and the Dorchester County Coroner's Office are investigating. This morning, we now know the name of the man killed in a car crash in Somerville. The Dorchester County Coroner's Office says 37-year-old Dietrich Adam Jackson of Charleston died in a car crash early yesterday morning off Dorchester Road. The North Charleston Police Department issued a statement yesterday saying officers saw a man walking toward a car in a parking area near Ashley Phosphate Road and Dorchester Road early yesterday morning. That's when investigators say Jackson was, quote, stumbling as he walked and appeared intoxicated. Police say officers observed as Jackson entered a car and drove out of the parking lot. That's when investigators say Jackson struck a concrete buffer and drove off at a high rate speed. According to the statement, an officer attempted to conduct a traffic stop, but Jackson fled from police. The officer lost sight of the car on Dorchester Road, but later located the car wrecked in the 9100 block of Dorchester Road. Jackson was ejected from the vehicle and died at the scene. The investigation is still underway. News 2 is your local election headquarters this weekend for 2020 Democratic presidential hopefuls campaign right here in the Lowcountry. Senators Cory Booker and Elizabeth Warren, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, and Congressman Beto O'Rourke spoke at the Black Economic Alliance Forum at the Charleston Music Hall. Count on 2's Taylor Murray tells us where the candidates stand in improving work conditions, wages, and wealth for Black Americans.
To be able to make sure that everyone in America can have their American dream.
Closing the socioeconomic gap plaguing Black Americans. This is what all 4 Democratic presidential hopefuls in town for the Black Economic Alliance Forum say they're fighting for.
The American economy is growing, and too many workers are being left out.
Before meeting up with 2020 presidential candidate Senator Elizabeth Warren and speaking to a crowd of more than 500 at the forum, Senator Cory Booker, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, and Congressman Beto O'Rourke spent the day with local fast food workers protesting for higher wages.
I think the way that we win is to go out and talk to people all across this country about our plans for the future.
Each candidate is hoping to win Black South Carolinian votes in order to become the 2020 Democratic nominee. So they presented their plans on improving working conditions, wages, and wealth. From prison reform.
We also have to look back and have expungements of incarceration where it's clear that the incarceration is doing more harm than the original offense.
To eliminating student loan debt.
You ensure that the first 2 years of higher education are completely free. In addition, you guarantee that a full 4 years is debt-free for middle and lower income students.
Each Democratic candidate says they're in this race to make things better for African Americans in our nation.
Because my community, my vulnerable community, cannot afford 4 more years of Donald Trump. It is life or death for people.
That was Taylor Murray reporting. She says all 4 Democratic presidential hopefuls say they'll be back in the Palmetto State again next weekend for the South Carolina Democratic Party convention in Columbia. The Republican National Committee issued a statement yesterday in response to the Democrats' visit to the Lowcountry. Joe Jackson, South Carolina Communications Director for the committee, saying in the statement, African Americans continue to thrive under the policies being championed by President Trump's administration. While 2020 Democrats spend their weekend arguing over who has moved furthest to the left, President Trump will continue to deliver on a record of supporting HBCUs, creating economic prosperity, passing criminal justice reform, and lowering taxes. The east and westbound lanes of I-526 at the Wando Bridge will be closed starting today, Sunday, June 16th, for construction on the median. This comes after a snapped cable was found last year, resulting in a 3-week lane closure and lane reversals. The eastbound lanes will be closed at 8 p.m. and westbound lanes will be closed at 9 p.m. Both lanes will be reopened for traffic by 6 a.m. the next morning. Starting tomorrow, construction for the Charleston County School District's new elementary school in West Ashley will impact drivers. Starting at 7 a.m., delivery of materials to the construction site on Garden Street will be made by 4 50-foot-long trucks. Delivery drivers will be using I-526 to US 17 to Wapu Road to Garden Street. Flaggers will be set up throughout the neighborhood to assist with traffic control. The disruption is expected to end by early afternoon. And a heads up for drivers who use I-26. On Monday, there will be lane closures for both east and westbound drivers. These closures will continue through Wednesday, the 19th. Going westbound, lanes will be closed starting at 10:30 p.m. between Mount Pleasant Street and Cosgrove Avenue. Lanes going eastbound will be closed starting at 9:30 p.m. between Cosgrove Avenue and Cypress Avenue. All lanes will be reopened at 5 a.m. the following morning.
Next on News 2.
A 2-hour trip on the Carolina Girl benefiting the Pet Helpers Adoption Center. How you can get in on the fun while helping out the clinic coming up. But before we go, let's take a look at what's trending on CountOn2.com right now. A local exterminator shares 7 tips to avoid bed bugs this summer. Plus, the South Carolina Department of Corrections under review for crime within prison gates. And the man who died in a car accident on Dorchester Road has been identified.
Stay in the know on the go with the News 2 app, sponsored by Wired Installations.
A 2-hour cruise on the Carolina Girl, but there's limited spaces on this fundraiser. Here with us this morning to tell us more about the event, we have Don Cayley. Good morning, Don. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Thanks for being here so early on your Father's Day. So talk to me about this fundraiser. What is it?
So it is Cruising for a Cause, and all the proceeds go to Pet Helpers. We are having the cruise on June 23rd. It's boarding at 2 o'clock. And it's a 2-hour cruise, Charleston Harbor with music. It's BYOB.
Okay.
So bring your own beer, wine, non-alcoholic drinks, whatever you want to drink. And you can also bring a picnic basket for your own food.
So fun.
Or you can also, we partner with Crew Catering, so you can also order a boxed lunch through Crew Catering when you buy your tickets. Tickets are $50. per person.
Okay.
And there's only 100 tickets available. We've sold about 25, so there's some time left to get on the cruise. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, who doesn't want a Charleston Harbor tour?
100%, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful yacht, 3 tiers. We're going to have some auction items on there, live music. It's going to be a great time.
That sounds like so much fun. So like we were talking about, there's 100 tickets. So far we're close to like 20 something. So there is time to act, but if you want to act, you need to act now. $50 per ticket. And then as you said, you can either go with the catering or you can just still kind of bring your own stuff. So why the cruise? Why did we decide to go this kind of, I guess, alternative route? I mean, this sounds like such a fun idea.
That's exactly why. Just there's 2 reasons. We know that people like to have fun in Charleston.
Right.
We wanted to hit a younger crowd.
Okay.
Trying to get a younger crowd into Pet Helpers and you know, knowing what we are and trying to get them more involved with us.
Okay.
And we're also, one of the things we're also doing, we're auctioning off we're raffling a 18-foot boat.
Oh, wow.
So one of the, it's a
Wow.
$100 raffle ticket.
Okay.
So, we did this big boat theme for the whole summer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and Carolina Girl was good enough to partner with us.
Nice.
And they're a great group of people. So we just wanted to have some kind of fun event.
So if I wanted to learn more or just to donate to the cause, what was the website I could go to?
www.pethelpers.org.
Thank you so much for being here this morning, and we'll have all of that information for you up on our website after the newscast. That sounds like it's going to be the fundraiser of the summer for sure. Ariel, how's the winds and waves today?
Well, maybe you already have a boat. Don't need to win that other one, but if you're thinking about heading out on the water, it is looking fantastic out there for your winds and waves forecast. Winds will be out of the south-southwest at about 5 to 10 knots. Waves heights 1 to 2 feet, so a pretty calm day out on the water. There is a very small chance of a pop-up shower or storm. I'll time it out for you on the other side of the break. Happy Sunday, everybody, and happy Father's Day to all those dads across the low country. Your forecast today looking pretty good. Taking a live look right now at Folly Beach. It's a very busy place to be right now. I want you to take note of the clouds starting to build off in the distance. This is showing a bit more humidity in the atmosphere. So as you're stepping out the door today, it's going to be feeling a bit more summer-like out there. 84 will be your temperature along the coastline as we head into the lunchtime hour. 84 as well by about 3 o'clock. For the rest of us stepping out your door right now, we're starting off with a lot of 70s. 77 Kingstree down to Somerville, 73 into Walterboro, 79 Charleston, over to 82 on Johns Island. But that's just half the story here. The other half, the humidity. We were refreshing, even comfortable over the last couple days. I hope you enjoyed it because we're right back into the little stuffy category. And by this afternoon, we're going to be back up into the humid category. And by the middle of the week, we're going to be back up in oppressive. The humidity is back. It's a low country in the middle of summer after all, so we kind of knew it was going to come. 83 will be your temperature by 11 o'clock, 85 as we head into the 1 o'clock hour. Notice your rain chances at about a 20%. Not something I'm overly concerned about, but especially as your dad is out and about, maybe you're grilling this afternoon, heading to the beach, heading to the pool, whatever you're doing, just keep an eye to the sky, keep an ear to the sky. If you hear thunder, just make sure to pop indoors really quick. But this is really what we're looking at. 1, maybe 2 pop-up showers or storms. Again, most of us staying completely dry, not something I'm overly concerned about. And as we head into your afternoon, high temperatures right around that 90-degree mark, Charleston over to Goose Creek, 90 into Walterboro, 85 along your coastline. But factor in that humidity, and these 80s are going to feel like the low to mid-90s. So it's going to be feeling very summer-like as you step out the door today. And even tomorrow morning, we're starting off into the 70s across the low country for your Monday. 70 Somerville over to Moncks Corner, 75 along the coastline. 68 Walterboro up to 69 into Kingstree. And that's to start your Monday. By the afternoon hours, check this out. We're once again right around that 90-degree mark. But when you factor in that humidity, it's going to feel like the low to mid-90s. And that's going to be the story for the rest of the work week. We're talking hot conditions with temperatures right around that 90-degree mark. Now that is normal, but it's still going to be quite warm. And it's going to be humid as well. And we'll have the risk for some showers and thunderstorms. A bit more of an unsettled week ahead. Not what we saw last week. We're talking more of a summertime pattern here. Along the coastline today, we're looking at plenty of sunshine for your Father's Day. Again, a bit more unsettled by next week, but can you really top the forecast this past weekend or even today? It's looking fantastic for those dads.
Can you top the forecast after the triple digits we saw for that stretch of time? I think so. I think you can top it for the rest
I don't think it takes a lot to top that.
No.
I think we're all good with no 100s. We enjoyed the low humidity, but we knew it was going to make a comeback.
It's going to be a great Father's Day, especially if you're looking for some last-minute Dad's Day activities. Well, guess what? We got you covered. Float down the Edisto River with dad, family, and friends. There you can play cornhole, volleyball, or just float the day away. Best part, dads, you float for free today. Tube trips are going out from 9 this morning until 3 this afternoon.
Want in on some brunch fun? Head on out to the Watch Rooftop Kitchen and Bar. Today they're hosting a Father's Day brunch. It's happening this afternoon at the restaurant. It will be paired with live music, Bloody Marys, and mimosas. This event begins at 10 o'clock this morning, so you still have some time to get on down there, and that live music, well, that starts at noon.
Some more brunch options on the table for you. 48 Wine Bar and Kitchen wants you to come out for their Sunday brunch. And today, if you make a reservation, your dad will receive either a complimentary Bloody Mary or a house bourbon cocktail. You can call in for reservations or you can make them on the Resi website.
And after you're done eating, you can head on over to the Children's Museum of the Low Country. They are offering free admission for dads today. No better way to say Happy Father's Day than spending some time with your dad at the Children's Museum. This special offer is running this afternoon from noon until 5. Kids tickets just $10.
Next on News 2.
I Got Legs is teaming up with Old School Championship Wrestling to raise money for a mobility van. How your support can help one physically challenged man continue his education at Charleston Southern University.
Yeah, it's June, but we're talking about the playoffs? Riverdogs highlights and how they can get the first half crown coming up in sports.
This is the Palmetto Ford Truck World Sports Desk. Come in. You'll get the best total deal on the new Ford F-150 and Super Duty.
The Riverdogs in a battle for who will take home the first half crown for the South Atlantic lead Southern. Either them, the Augusta Green Jackets, or the Lexington Legends would clinch the playoff berth after the weekend as they all entered near the top last night. Making this one very important, Dogs taking on Greenville after their extra inning loss to them the night before. Second inning runners on second and third. Brandon Lockridge on his horse in center field. Outstanding grab. A run would score, but he does keep it from being more there. Moving along to the fourth inning with the same score. Cole Cotton rips one past Eduardo Torribe. It's a 2-0 Greenville lead at this point until the fifth inning when it's time for some small ball. And maybe time for this pitcher to do a little bit more stretching. A little low to the ground for my man as the Dogs needed to find ways to get runners on all night. But in this case, Torribe, he capitalizes. This one brings in Welfer and Mateo to cut the deficit in half. However, that was your only Riverdogs run. The drive add on 3, and Kenan Smith, he's no lumberjack, but he's throwing around wood now. 5-1, Dogs lose. Scary moment at SunTrust. Sean Newcomb gets drilled here on the hit back to the mound as you take another look as it strikes maybe the worst possible spot with the back of the head. JT Rio Muto literally gasping and the hands over the mouth, immediately terrified for him. He would leave the game right after, but he would actually have a smile or two leaving the mound, which obviously is a good sign. As for the rest of the game, down 2 in the fifth. Josh Donaldson, reservations for 3, please. That put Atlanta in front. However, they blow this one in the ninth, and the Phillies, they get the 6-5 win. That's your look at sports. I'm Logan Reaver.
I Got Legs is teaming up with a local wrestling promotion to raise money for a new accessibility van for a college student who's physically challenged. Here with us to tell us more about the Caged Carnage, we have Adam Gorlitsky. Good morning, Adam. Thanks for being here this morning.
Pleasure.
So talk to me about what is Caged Carnage?
Caged Carnage is a wrestling event that Old School Championship Wrestling puts on every summer. Mm-hmm. We are the sponsored charity of the event. This event, it's a pretty cool event, something like we've never done before. It's to help fundraise for this kid named Micah. He's this college student here in Charleston.
Okay.
Micah has cerebral palsy, quadriplegic cerebral palsy, and he came to us for assistance with helping him fundraise for a new accessible mobility van to help him go to college next year.
Wow.
Micah just graduated Trident Technical College with his associates in psychology. Really cool kid. So this is going to help him continue his education for next year as he continues on getting his bachelor's degree.
And that's just amazing. You think, I mean, he just has like these physical challenges, but that's not going to stop him from, going after his dreams, getting that degree. That's so awesome. So where is this event happening?
This event's happening June 23rd at the Hand-to-Hand Recreation Gymnasium. It's in North Charleston, 3104 Maybelline Road. I'm really excited about this event. Micah, he's a big wrestling fan. Just loves WWE Pro Wrestling. So it's going to be a really cool event for him and for us as the sponsor charity.
And what time is this running from?
So the doors open at 4:30.
Okay.
And bell time's at 5.
Okay, and then all of the proceeds are going to Micah, but are they going to be split with I Got Legs as well? How's that working out?
Well, all the proceeds from this event, from the ticket sales, will go towards a grant that will go towards Micah's new accessible van.
Oh, wow. That's so awesome. And if I wanted to learn more information, is there a website I could go to or just to donate?
Yeah, www.igotlegs.org/caged-carnage.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
I should also mention Micah was supposed to be here, but his van is currently broken.
Which is why we're doing this, so that we can get him that van. Well, thank you so much for being here this morning. We'll have a link to that up on our website so that hopefully we can get Micah to his new college, because that would be so awesome for him. And again, we'll have that for you up on counton2.com.
Next on News 2.
A bill introduced in Congress would require automatic alerts to school districts and bus companies if a bus driver is caught breaking the law. How soon districts will be notified. Plus, the Berkeley County Board of Education is moving forward with attendance changes. Which high schools will be affected and when the board will discuss these changes next.
Now, Count on 2, live and local in the Lowcountry. This is News 2 Today.
Hey, good Sunday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us for our second half hour and for waking up with us. I'm Olivia Parsons.
Good morning, everybody. I'm meteorologist Ariel Hooley. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there this morning. Waking up, I hope you got an extra big breakfast in bed. You're enjoying some coffee. As you step out the door, though, be prepared. It's a bit more humid.
But it's nice out, so maybe you haven't had breakfast yet, but you want to go to brunch. You have every opportunity to do so because it's a great day. You don't have to hide under the umbrellas from the rain.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It is not raining. We do have the very small chance of a pop-up shower or storm this afternoon. Most of us, though, staying completely dry. You can see those clouds starting to build off in the distance. That's indicative of a bit more humidity in the atmosphere, so be prepared. It's going to feel a bit more like summer than what we've enjoyed over the last couple days. 70s and 80s as you step out the door right now. 81 Mount Pleasant over to 82 on Johns Island. 77 Walterboro. But those dew points continue to climb. We are already back into the humid category, and as we head through the rest of your day today, those dew points and the humidity just going to continue to increase along with the temperatures. 85 as we head into 1 o'clock, 87 by 3. Nothing but sunshine today with a very, very small chance of a pop-up shower or storm. Most of your Father's Day, though, going to be dry. Temperatures sitting at 85 by lunchtime. As Dad's grilling out at 3 p.m., we're looking at about 87. So hour by hour today, you can see a very low rain chance. I'm talking 1, maybe 2 pop-up storms. I'll show you what that looks like on your Futurecast model and have a look at the work week ahead coming up.
In the coming months, solar panel sales are going to ramp up following the passage of the Energy Freedom Act in May. It lifts the cap on solar energy. This morning, Count on 2 investigative reporter Rebecca Collette uncovered secretly recorded audio of a training seminar on solar panels. She exposes the sale tactics state regulators want to warn you about.
The recording you're about to hear is from a solar panel sales training class. One of the participants was so disturbed by what they heard, they just started recording. The audio was turned over to state regulators, and I obtained it through the course of an investigation into solar panels.
When I go over this, I say,
1 minute into the recording from an Eris Inc. sales training, the instructor coaches the class to dodge questions, especially about costs.
Anything they say that I don't want to answer, that's a great question. We're going to get to that.
Later in the audio, he tells the class to talk quickly.
And I talk fast, but You got to keep excitement up.
When a new instructor takes over, he tells the class to mislead the customer about savings after installing the panels to create future sales.
Boom, now I'm going to sell another $20,000 deal. I'm going to sell, that's
They ain't gonna call you no more.
Listen, I'll sell them all. So I've been in the sales industry for forever.
The South Carolina Department of Consumer Affairs tells me more than 50% of complaints about solar companies this year in South Carolina center around deceptive sales practices.
So what that could look like is they tell you, oh, your bills are going to go down this percentage, or your bills are going to look like this in the future, or you may be, the state may be paying you money.
Bailey Parker, the director of communications, says before spending $20 or $40K on solar panels, research the company, get multiple quotes, and check with your utility company about savings and the practicality of solar at your home. Since the governor signed the Energy Freedom Act into law in May, lifting the cap on solar energy, state regulators worry many companies may push solar harder.
We as Consumer Affairs want to be able to help consumers make the best decision, because there are people out there that are going to try and take advantage of either misinformation or just general not knowing.
Or not giving out information at all.
But you're not going to dive into that with them because you're just slitting your own throat.
The VP of Eris Inc. tells me the second voice heard on the tape isn't actually a qualified trainer with the company, and Eris cut ties with him today. He says this isn't representative of the company's sales practices. Rebecca Collette, Count on 2.
An effort to keep your child safe on the school bus. A bill introduced in Congress would require automatic alerts to school districts and bus companies if a bus driver is caught breaking the law. One congressman says that notification would go out within 24 hours of a violation. Lawmakers are also pushing for a federal law to require seatbelts in all school buses. South Carolina lawmakers are also pushing to require 3-point seatbelts on school buses. The State Department of Education says that would cost $5 million more than what is already set aside to replace buses. The Berkeley County Board of Education is moving forward with attendance line changes and will discuss the issue again later this month. The new attendance lines have different physical boundaries, addressing the growing student population, and includes Sangaree, Stratford, and Cane Bay high schools. The attendance line map passed a second reading at the school board meeting last week. It will go before the board for full approval on June 25th. Goose Creek's Shannon Park is getting a new home, and it's right across the street. The mayor's goal for the park is to create a new, better green space for the city. According to Goose Creek City Public Information Officer, the plans for the new site include tearing down Casey Center, but the long-term plan is still being developed. Somerville Town Council approved an annexation petition request for a 973-acre property. It's currently in unincorporated Berkeley County near the Nexton interchange. Last week, council members postponed a development agreement for the property until its next council meeting in July. A developer wants to build 1,700 single-family homes, 600 multifamily residences, and build up to 400,000 square feet of commercial space on the property. Council members said they want to wait until after the second public hearing before voting on the development, since residents have raised concerns over the new development.
We requested that there be more time for a complex case like the Sheep Island. They took that into consideration and they decided to extend that. And we really appreciate the town of Somerville giving us the time to present, listening to us, and clearly making some modifications as a result of that.
The vote on the agreement is now scheduled to happen at the next town council meeting on July 11th. Somerville Town Council decided to postpone voting on the overhaul of a busy intersection in the middle of town. The design would turn the intersection of 5 Points into a roundabout with 2 lanes and lowering the speed limit. This plan goes along with ideas on how to revamp the town. The town will vote after they receive the right-of-way drawings for the proposed plan. The golf cart ordinance and resolution passed in Folly Beach. The ordinance gives clarification on when golf carts can be driven and also permit prices for visitors. They'll increase from $5 to $100 over the course of 3 years. Island residents will still pay $5 for the permits.
Next on News 2.
Voters in South Carolina will be casting their ballots on a new system, the upgrade to the state's current 15-year-old system, and when the new systems are expected to be up and running. Plus, current and former South Carolina electric and gas customers will split $100 $46 million in what is being considered the biggest private class action settlement in state history. More on that on the other side of the break. Voters in South Carolina will be casting their ballots on a new system. The express vote machines will replace the state's current 15-year-old system. The new machines combine the convenience of a digital voting machine and transparency of a paper ballot. Voters put the ballot in the machine, make their selections, and then receive a printout of their votes. Voters then take that ballot to another machine for an audit. The goal is to have the new system in place by January, a move lawmakers hope will improve the public's trust in the voting system.
What can we do to ensure that every voter has confidence that their vote counts for one vote in an election? That it won't be changed, it won't be cast aside, it won't be overlooked. This system gives us that, in my opinion.
All elections beginning January 1st, 2020 will be done on these new machines, with the first statewide election being the Democratic presidential preference primary on February 29th. Current and former South Carolina electric and gas customers will split $146 million in what's being considered the biggest private class action settlement in state history. Attorneys sued SCE&G and their parent company SCANA for its role in the abandoned construction of 2 nuclear plants that never generated power. The attorneys who argued the case will get $51 million plus nearly $900,000 for expenses. What we don't know, how much each customer will get and when Dominion Energy took over the utility in January. The future of the state-owned utility company Santee Cooper is still unclear. In February, lawmakers reviewed bids to buy the company that has more than $7 billion in debt. But now lawmakers want to take that process a step further. A law was passed that requires the Department of Administration to look at all proposals. Lawmakers also set criteria for those proposals, the main one protecting customers from rate hikes. The caretaker of the 85-year-old woman who disappeared 2 weeks ago is now charged with lying to police about the woman's disappearance. Police say 62-year-old Lila Smith initially told officers Jaxie Rogers disappeared from a grocery store parking lot. They say security video actually determined Rogers was last seen near Smith's home. Rogers' car was found Tuesday near a North Carolina river, and Rogers was later found alive in a nearby wooded area. A jury says a South Carolina father should be executed for killing his 5 children. 37-year-old Timothy Jones Jr. admitted to the deaths of his children ages 1 to 8 in their Lexington home in August 2014. Jones admitted to doing terrible things to the kids, like making his 6-year-old exercise until he collapsed and died. Then Jones drove around with the bodies for 9 days before dumping them in 5 trash bags in Alabama. Jones is headed to death row, but South Carolina hasn't executed an inmate since 2011. A Count on 2 update on a traffic accident that killed 2 people back in May. The State Highway Patrol now says they have a suspect under arrest in connection to the accident. The charges come after a fatal accident on I-26 near mile marker 207 on May 15th. Troopers have arrested 18-year-old Mateic Trayvon Best of Somerville and charged him with 2 counts of felony driving under the influence, resulting in death. Best was hospitalized as a result of the crash and was arrested as soon as he was released. 2 passengers in the car Best was driving died at the scene. It's time now to take a look at what's happening all around the Low Country and coverage you can count on from News 2. On Monday, Charleston County and City of Charleston Planning Departments will host the second of its 2 public meetings to talk about the Maybank Highway and Main Road zoning project. This is happening at St. John's High School at 6 p.m. Tuesday marks the 12-year anniversary of the Sofa Superstore fire here in Charleston that took the lives of 9 firefighters. The ceremony is happening at the Charleston 9 Memorial Park on Savannah Highway. It will begin at 7 p.m. On Wednesday, the Charleston Area Regional Transportation Authority, otherwise known as CARTA, will have a board meeting. Some of the items that will be discussed on the agenda include the proposed 2020 fiscal year budget. On Thursday, the Berkeley Charleston Dorchester Council of Governments will hold a workshop to kick off the next phase of the Low Country Rapid Transit Project. This is happening at the Northwoods Mall from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. And that's a look at what's happening all around the Low Country this week. Stay with us for a look at your full forecast coming up after the break.
Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there, and happy Sunday. We're wrapping up the weekend here with a really good looking forecast. Taking a live look right now at Folly Beach. You can see it's a very busy afternoon or morning. Heading into the afternoon hours, I do expect it to become a bit more busy with a gorgeous forecast in store today. Temperatures already into the low 80s along the coastline. Charleston over to Mount Pleasant, as well as Johns Island and Edisto. Heading a little further inland, we're still into the upper 70s, but that humidity is slowly increasing. We're already really starting to feel it out there. So I want to go ahead and show you what your heat index feels like. Now, temperatures are comfortably into the 80s, but it already feels like almost 90 degrees. Edisto over to Johns Island, Folly Beach. It feels like 90 degrees as you step out the door right now. Sullivan's Island, it feels like 88. As you head a little further inland, it feels like the low to mid 80s. So we're definitely talking a very summer-like feel to your Sunday. And you can see hour by hour today, those temperatures will continue to warm. 83 as we head into the 11 o'clock hour, 85 by 1, 86 as we head into the 2 o'clock hour. Now notice a little bit of a rain chance, about 20%. So not anything that's going to mess up your afternoon, but just keep an eye to the sky. You can see on your Futurecast model, 5 o'clock we see one shower pop up, 6 o'clock maybe 1 or 2 pop up. Most of you, though, staying completely dry for your Father's Day. So a really nice afternoon and evening to get outside and enjoy some of that sunshine for Dad. Temperatures today into the mid 80s to low 90s. You can see 89 Charleston over to Goose Creek, 90 into Walterboro, 85 along the coastline. But once you factor in that humidity, it's going to feel like the low 90s to even the mid 90s. So I hope you enjoyed that low humidity because it's back. And it's not going anywhere, especially in that extended forecast. You can see tonight temperatures only falling back into the 70s. So a very summer-like feel as we get your work week started here. 69 into Kingstree to start your Monday, 68 into Walterboro, 73 into Charleston. That extended forecast today, again, a very small chance of a storm with high temperatures into the upper 80s for most of us. As we head into your work week, we keep the heat in place, keep the humidity in place, and we start to increase the risk for some showers and thunderstorms. They'll be a bit more widespread each and every day. Now, as we wrap up the week here, we're talking temperatures back up into the low 90s, so even above normal for this time of year. You can see those overnight temperatures into the 70s. That's indicative of some pretty humid conditions. Along the coastline, you know it's warm when even the beaches are hitting near 90 degrees.
To Your Health, sponsored by Dr. Sonny O.
With Father's Day upon us, maybe you'll spend the day sprucing up your yard, but hauling mulch and planting can take a toll on your back. Doctors say you can avoid letting your flower beds get the best of your back by using good body mechanics.
Body mechanics is very important. Having good ideal weight would be very important. If you are obese, just recognize that it's going to affect your biomechanics, and you should use good tools, the appropriate tools for the right job, because bad tools would lead to bad body mechanics.
Dr. Thomas says it's smart to start slow and ease into yard work. Yoga or stretching can help warm up muscles before heading out into the yard. Being flexible and having good core strength can also help the body better tolerate outdoor cleanup activities. If you know certain types of activities trigger back pain, Dr. Thomas recommends modifying work to avoid re-injuring yourself. He says people often get hurt doing more than their bodies are able to do. So it's best to ask for help instead of overdoing it on your own. If you end up with a sore lower back, he says most of these injuries will resolve on their own with about 48 hours of rest. Over-the-counter anti-inflammatory medications for those who are able to take them, and applying ice or heat often helps too. But if back pain lingers more than a few days, alternative therapies can be your next line of defense.
You may want to consider massage as an option. That's more for soft tissue. It really doesn't help with the deep down disc injuries. You can also consider things like yoga, but again, use good body mechanics. I'm not against the idea of using acupuncture, which has been more and more popular and supported now.
Doctors say 2 to 4 sessions of an alternative therapy should be sufficient for easing back pain. If it still hurts, you should have it reassessed by a physician. Stay with us. You're watching News 2 Today. All right, it's Father's Day, and we're getting in on the Father's Day shenanigans here at News 2, and I'm going to start with this. This is my dad, Tom. My dad's favorites include anything with a bow. He loves to fix up cars, including mine, whenever I don't get my oil changed like I'm supposed to. And I said he never passes up the opportunity to make potato salad for a cookout. That man knows how to make some potato salad.
Oh, sounds so good. That's my uncle, Uncle Rich. You can see we're hanging out at the Patriots game. He's a huge football fan. His favorite Father's Day activities, being left alone.
I love it.
He has 3 daughters, including myself, so he likes to take a little bit of a break every once in a while.
Next, we have our photographer, Cody. Cody's dad is named Anthony, and so Cody's a little upset. Cody's a Dallas Cowboys fan, which is just, it's rough, but his dad's a Redskins fan, so, I mean, the whole football in the
nice
family.
little rivalry
For real.
there, yeah.
I know, that's for sure going on at News 2, so happy Father's Day to Anthony. And here we have Valentina, our director, and her dad, and she says that he's a total goofball and that he has the best dad jokes, and he is always going to make you laugh no matter what. So happy Father's Day to you at home. Happy Father's Day to our News 2 dads. We love ya.
All right, guys, if you didn't get a Father's Day gift, listen up. Today's National Fudge Day. That includes chocolate syrup. So now indulge yourself in that chocolatey treat and treat your dad. Hot fudge can go pretty much on anything.
Anything.
So take your dad, put some hot fudge on that, what's it called, on the pancakes you're making this morning. Just treat your dad today. Taking a look at that forecast, you guys ready for this? Plenty of sunshine, temperatures warming, a lot of us in the upper 70s, low 80s. By about lunchtime, we'll be into the mid 80s, but factor in a bit more humidity, and it's gonna feel like the low 90s out there. By the time Dad's grilling outside, 87 degrees this afternoon. Very small chance for a pop-up shower or storm, but most of us staying completely dry. So get out and enjoy your Father's Day.
It's going to be a good one. Thanks so much for joining us for News 2 today. The news continues on air and online. Happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day.